Between the Dragon Ball Super manga, Goku jumping off the Battlebus in Fortnite, and the release of Dragon Ball Super Superhero, it's a good time to love Dragon Ball. How goes it, everyone? I'm RedMufflerMan. Since Rob's hibernating in the Saiyan healing chamber after staying up all night to watch She-Hulk, I'll be the one talking about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, giving my general thoughts on it and covering any small details you might have missed along the way. So let's get into it. To start with, the movie opens up with this gorgeous hand-drawn animated set piece, running down the origin of the Red Ribbon Army, who were one of the main baddies in the original Dragon Ball, showing characters who haven't been drawn in a modern Dragon Ball style for a very long time. Commander Blue, Officer Black, and even smaller bit characters like Android 8. They even show Goku blowing up Mercenary Tao. The intro also briefly goes over the events of the Android saga, the death of Dr. Ghetto, and of course, the birth of Cell. And seeing Cell drawn in the modern Dragon Ball style was honestly a real treat for me, especially since both Toriyama and Toei have gone on record saying they go out of their way to not draw Cell anymore because his spots make him way too difficult to draw consistently. So yeah, if you've ever wondered why Frieza was allowed to come back and not Cell, well, there's your answer. But from here, we're introduced to our, big baddie, Magenta, the son of Commander Red, who was in charge of the Red Ribbon Army back in Dragon Ball. And much like his father, he wants to bring the army back into prominence. And like everyone else in the Red Ribbon Army, he's named after a color. God, I love Toriyama naming conventions. Goku literally named his son food. And then we have Dr. Hedo, the grandson of Dr. Ghetto. And I love this dude. Fun fact, Dr. Hedo's name is meant to be a play on words for nausea medication, while Dr. Ghetto's name essentially translates to Dr. Vomit. But his name isn't the only thing that's the polar opposite of his granddad. While Ghetto wanted to build androids for the purpose of world domination, Hedo is just a sweet, lovable little dork that wants to make android superheroes. He also stole some corpses to go toward that research, but who isn't a little problematic these days? Magenta meets with Hedo to try to get his android expertise on his side, but at this point, Hedo isn't convinced, since working with the Red Ribbon Army isn't exactly something Superman would do. So Magenta shows him a video that'll look really familiar to Dragon Ball fans. It's a candid shot of the scene where Future Trunks eviscerates Frieza in real time. And I giggled when I saw this. Obviously, the original scene had all the flair and slow pacing you'd expect from old Dragon Ball Z, but seeing Trunks just hop up to Frieza and cut him up like fresh sashimi in 2 seconds was a really cathartic way to reframe that scene. But yeah, the video convinces Hedo that the people running around Capsule Corporation are like lizard people or something, and he's like, yeah, that's good enough of a reason for me to build super robots for fascists. And from here we move on to Piccolo, who's gotten a bit of a design change. His arms have gone from bright pink to yellow. This is because of the fact that as Namekians get older, the color of their arm sacs begin to change. So he did it, everybody. Piccolo finally hit puberty. Not only that, he's a homeowner, has a cell phone, and his bed is covered in a mountain of plushies. He's just like me, for real, for real. But we see that he's training Pan right now, who at this point is 3, meaning this movie is placed about a year off from the end of Dragon Ball Z, where Goku just goes off to train with Oob, leaving his family behind for like a decade. Granted, it's not like Goku's a stranger to just leaving his family and friends for long stretches of time. Foreshadowing. But shortly after this, we're introduced to Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. These guys are androids, and they're the magnum opus creations of Dr. Hedo. As mentioned earlier, Hedo's entire aesthetic is based around superheroes. Heroes of justice, all that cool shit. And these guys are all that and more. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 follow the hero aesthetics found in tokusatsu and Super Sentai shows. Basically the Japanese Power Rangers. The duo are constantly striking powerful hero poses, with pyrotechnics in the back as onomatopoeia appear behind them. The words actually appear, and Piccolo at one point is even in shock because of it. This is seemingly explained through the fact that Hedo, in order to make his androids as cool as possible, built hologram generators into their backs. The fact that he was this much of a dork to include this solely because he watched a lot of Power Rangers as a kid is incredible. But Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's relation to tokusatsu doesn't end there. Their characterization even follows a standard formula found in the genre of Super Sentai. Gamma 1 is level-headed and stoic. He acts logically, with the responsibility of a leader, essentially the Red Ranger. Meanwhile, Gamma 2 acts in the opposite fashion, cracking puns at a moment's notice, living relatively carefree, but also being prone to lashing out in bouts of emotion, many of which are traits found in secondary Rangers. The two androids fight with toyish laser blasters. They fly around with flashy high-impact moves like the Inazuma kick or straight-up drop-kicking people. They are the living embodiment of the Japanese live-action superhero aesthetic, and I love it. And another thing about this movie is that it really plays with a lot of the tropes people are used to with Dragon Ball as a whole. So these Gamma androids are real strong and they're up to no good, right? Well, nothing Goku and Vegeta can't handle, right? Well, throughout the entire movie, Goku, Vegeta, and Broly are training up on the planet of Lord Beerus, while everyone else there just eats ice cream, and they end up missing all of Bulma's phone calls trying to get Goku and Vegeta back to Earth. This is so relatable. I miss work phone calls like all the time. Well, that's fine though, since Bulma has the Dragon Ball, so they can just wish away the Red Ribbon Army, right? Well, no, because Piccolo is petty and that's an easy way out. So instead, he just wishes for the dragon to give him an awakening of his hidden power, akin to the one Gohan and Krillin received from Guru. Then Bulma wishes for a toned ass and longer eyelashes, but then realized they could have just used the Dragon Balls to teleport Goku and Vegeta there instead. This is the kind of slapstick playing with your expectations that I expect from classic Dragon Ball. The kind of story where Krillin wins a fight by farting in a dude's face, or Oolong wishing for a pair of underwear. I'm honestly a huge fan of this whimsical approach to the writing. It's very Toriyama. And then we have Gohan, and the first thing I gotta say is, this dude finally found a barber. Gohan's hair in Super looked so bad. But Gohan's hair isn't the only glow up. This movie overall feels like the send-up to his character that we were promised during the Buu saga. Gohan begins the movie soft and out of practice, similar to how he was at the beginning of Super. But after Pan gets kidnapped, we get to see Gohan get mad. And he and Piccolo take the fight to the Red Ribbon Army. And it's here that Piccolo, after like 30 years, gets a new form. Piccolo Orange. That's orange all right. Jokes aside, I'm actually a big fan of this transformation. Visually, it takes a combination of elements from Piccolo's normal design and gives them the more chiseled demonic look of King Piccolo. His antennae are framed on his face in such a way that they come off more as devil horns, harkening back to his origin in the original Dragon Ball as a demon king. While he's in this form, they even throw back to Piccolo's ability to grow in size to gigantic proportions, which he used against Goku in the World Martial Arts Tournament. But now, moving on to the climax. The film's big reveal is that while Dr. Hedo had built Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, he was also forced to produce Cell Max, a successor to the original Cell created by Dr. Ghetto. While the androids are fighting with Gohan and Piccolo, Cell Max ends up getting woken up, and this results in Piccolo, Gohan, the Gammas, and basically every B-list Dragon Ball character trying to stop him. And this leads to something very interesting I noticed about Gamma 1 and 2. Gamma 1 and 2 are red and blue, respectively. And on one hand, thematically, that is to tie into the superhero Toku aesthetic. But this also likely ties into the Japanese folk legend of the red and blue Oni. The story goes that there was once a red Oni who wished to make friends with a village of humans. However, the village shunned him and wanted nothing to do with the demon. The red Oni also had his best friend, the blue Oni. Hearing of the red Oni's plight, the blue Oni offers to feign attacking the village in order for the red Oni to step in and stop him, in order to look like a hero to the villagers. The plan succeeds, but the red Oni then realizes he can never speak to the blue Oni again, lest the villagers learn that it was a scheme. In essence, Blue sacrifices himself for Red's happiness. And here against Cell, Gamma 2 sacrifices his life to fatally weaken Cell Max, and potentially allow Gamma 1 the opportunity to be a hero to those around him, and to seek redemption. This central theme between Gamma 1 and 2 is honestly my favorite part of this entire film. And I hope we get to see more of Gamma 1 later on in Dragon Ball Super's continuation. And finally, we have Gohan's new transformation, called Gohan Beast. They literally made Gohan Blanco canon. God, also, why is his hair so tall? What the f***? Okay, jokes aside, this is raw. In the scene where Gohan achieves this transformation, it's meant to mirror the scene where Gohan achieves Super Saiyan 2 against Cell after the death of Android 16. Shot for shot, they recreate it, complete with the reflection in Gohan's eyes, the red line indicating the snap, Gohan's explosion. When this happened, my theater went crazy. I went crazy. Gohan is furious, and his design mirrors the Super Saiyan 2 design, which is such a cool detail. And to top it all off, to finish off Cell Max, he doesn't use the Kamehameha, no. He uses the Special Beam Cannon. Thematically, this is Gohan separating himself from his father. And if you look at the context of how he's been treated in Dragon Ball in terms of giving up his spotlight to Goku, it's a special kind of cathartic. But I also think this scene solidifies the respect between Piccolo and Gohan. That when things were at their worst, Gohan chose to use Piccolo's technique. That Goku may be his father, but Piccolo is his master. And with that, I think I've rambled long enough here. Dragon Ball Super Superhero is a fantastic movie, and I had a blast getting to go on about it. As per usual, if you like what we do, feel free to drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe to the channel. And if you like me, you can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at RedMufflerMan. And yeah, have a good one, everybody. Take it easy. Oh yeah, and Vegeta beat Goku in the sparring match, so I guess Vegeta is canonically stronger?
I'm the f***ing best, Kakarot!